I'm going to maintain this GitHub repo throughout the course. You can find all our practical code here. So we discussed about Terraform AWS provider. If you search Terraform AWS provider, go to the Terraform official documentation. So this is how they will tell you to use the provider. This is the syntax where you will be having one Terraform block and then required providers. What is the source? HashiCorp./AWS means this provider is maintained by HashiCorp officially, and the current version of the provider is 4.8.0. And now you will configure AWS provider. Here, the first block, it is telling you are using AWS and the version, and then you need to configure that provider. If you go here, 4.8.0 is just released 4 days ago, and previously we have a lot of versions, so it's keep on changing. This is the provider syntax, and then let us see. Every section will have one readme file. Make sure you read this completely while doing your practical session. Here you should have an AWS account. If you don't have one, you can go to the YouTube and then create one AWS account by searching in YouTube, and you need to install Visual Studio Code, Git Bash, AWS CLI also. After the installation of these tools, we need to create one I am programmatic user. We need to do the provider configuration, and we need to provide the credentials to the Terraform to authenticate AWS to create the EC2. Okay. Now I have logged into my AWS account. I'm in Mumbai region. I'm going to create one IAM user. Go to the users, add user, Terraform. For now I'm attaching administrator access. Okay, so you need to have, you should have this access key and then secret access key. You can download it once once you come out of this window. You cannot say this again and again. Okay, we created this. After that, we need to write the provider. So as mentioned in the document, I'm writing the provider like this. Just go here. So it's a best practice to have provider.tf separately. Okay, I just copied that. Let us take the latest version 4.8.0, and then I'm in Mumbai region. Now you need to authenticate to the AWS. How you will authenticate? Terraform will give you multiple ways of authentication for AWS. Parameters in the provider configuration. So here in the provider, with region, you can provide these credentials, but it is very dangerous to have it here hard coded and then pushing into the GitHub. Immediately your account will be hacked. So we don't prefer this way. And you can have environment variables, but that will be only valid for your session. And we can have credentials file. So we can go through this method. Just go to your command prompt. I am in my Terraform folder. Run AWS configure. This is the access key. And this is the secret key. I'm in Mumbai. Just enter. So now you configure the authentication. So once you configure the authentication, we are going to write the EC2 file. So just search Terraform EC2. For everything, to write any resource, it's better to always refer Terraform official documentation. It is very easy and crystal clear. When I search Terraform EC2, the resource name is AWS instance. The syntax, the Terraform follows HCL syntax is like HashiCorp configuration language. This is the resource and the type of the resource. What is the name you are going to provide to that resource? Okay. So here, if you see, To create EC2 instance resource, the type of the resource is AWS underscore instance, and name you can give whatever name you want. Okay. If you go down, Terraform will clearly mention which is optional, which is mandatory. AMI is mandatory if you don't provide launch template, and then remaining are all optional. It will take default parameters, and then instance type. So instance type we usually give to t2.micro just to be in free tier usage. Okay. So in future we will discuss more about these arguments in clear. First let us do one basic EC2 instance provisioning. Okay, in ec2.tf resource I am going to provide AWS instance. This is the type. I have given the name as my ec2. This is the AMI ID. AMI ID how you get is go here, go to the services ec2. Every region AMI ID is different. Just click on launch instance. This is the AMI ID. Copy this and then paste here. If you are in another region, AMI ID will be different. Okay. So these two arguments I am providing, remaining will be taken as default arguments. We will discuss more about it. Okay. Now we have provider file, and then we have given authentication through AWS configure command, and then we have ec2.tf file, and how to create this ec2 through the Terraform. Just go to the document. Here I mentioned first command you should run is Terraform init. Go to this command prompt. Make sure you should be in the directory where you have .tf files. Otherwise Terraform command will not work. Terraform command will always search for .tf files. Terraform init. When I run Terraform init, in background Terraform is downloading the Terraform provider plugin with 4.8.0 version. If you see here, Terraform is created two folders, .terraform where Terraform is downloaded the provider, and then terraform.log.hcl. I will tell you about this file later, why this file is exist. Okay, once you do the initialization, you can go for Terraform plan. This command will tell you what are the resources you are going to create in AWS. Now you see it has given us some output. Terraform is telling one resource is going to be created. You can get the full details from here. This is the AMI ID. You will get all these details once you apply the configuration. Okay, so now Terraform apply. Just say yes. It started creating the resource. Usually it takes 30 seconds. Let us see. Okay, it's completed. Let's go and see in the console. Just go to EC2 instances. Now you see one resource is created. Okay, so this is how you initialize or you provision EC2 instance. I have given one diagram here how Terraform works. So this is the Terraform. You have the provider downloaded inside .terraform directory. This Terraform will connect with the provider. Provider will connect with the AWS to provision the EC2 instance. Okay, make sure you are in the directory where you have .tf files while you are running the Terraform command.